You're not necessarily bad at working with color. You kind of have the mindset of, well, I just pick the color and I blend it out and everything should be good. And that's very, very far from the truth. A lot of people fear color. They love to see it on other people and they love the thought of like imagining themselves putting on, you know, a really bold, bright eye. A lot of people won't even attempt it because, and I'm sure you've said this once or twice in your life, I don't want to look like a clown. If you apply your makeup correct, even the heaviest of makeups won't make you look like a clown. If you're new here, hi, my name is Miss Megan. I've been a makeup artist for 15 years. 13 of them I worked for MAC. I am no stranger to colored eyeshadow and bold looks. I actually used to only wear exclusively like MAC pigments when I was like 14 because I thought I was much, much cooler than anybody that wore just like regular eyeshadows. So I do actually have a very strong love for colored eyeshadows and also a long history with pigments and bold shades. In this video, I'm gonna share my 3 secrets for working with bold or bright color. And if you wanna learn more about why I'm wearing color is not just about picking the shade and then blending it out, please keep on watching. So for me, there's kind of like 2 ways I personally go about wearing color. It's gonna be different for everybody. I just need any debris off my face. I'm just gonna do my brows with 24-hour eye base, obviously, and Pro Lock brow gel. So when it comes to color, for me, it has to be like full on. Like I don't want like, oh, a cute little, you know, color on the lid. Like I want like a boldness to it. Like it needs to be more like color blocking, but that's something that develops over time as you figure out what your makeup style is and like what certain like aspects about makeup are important for you. So for me, I love texture. So like I want to see a lot of different like shimmers, glitters, metallics, mattes. Like I love to see texture. And I'm sure that you guys can think of like when you're swatching eyeshadows, right, in like a store, you might swatch something and be like, oh, I wish this had more blank. I wish it was more shimmery. I wish it was more matte. I wish it was less glittery. That's kind of your indication about what you like about those certain shades. And one of my favorite shades of all time is purple, but like I like more violet purple, meaning that there's like elements of blue in it. And oftentimes when people want to wear color, they're either doing like too much of it without intention. Like everything has to be thought about in a makeup look. Whether you're professional or not, that doesn't matter. Like your look should be planned out to a degree. You could even be technically like doing the right things, like using the right brush to pick up a certain formula. So you could have like the right concepts, but still be sort of applying things in the wrong way. Really quickly before we get started as well, if you are new to makeup and you need a little bit of help and you want to know more, head to my free Skool community. It's totally free to join. The link is in the description and it will get you started on understanding the basics of makeup. Now let's put on some purple eyeshadow. I'm using a Melt 818 brush and then I'm going to use a crease color. I'm just going to mix these 2 together. So secret number 1 is thinking that blending is what makes everything better. That as long as you know how to just blend, that means that the color you're working with will turn out great. But that can actually be ruining the actual color itself. So for example, like purple, especially if the formula is not like I'm gonna be using Melt eyeshadows today and some other stuff, but like if it's a crappy eyeshadow formula, and especially like a purple or a blue, and you don't have an eyeshadow primer down, they're ultimately just gonna turn gray because you're gonna end up in this like over blending scenario and you end up just like dulling the color down. And again, if you don't have structure on the eye, everything just kind of looks like undone. I bought the ChristmasTown and HalloweenTown palette. I'm gonna use Bone Daddy right now. So when you blend without having the placement down first, that can lead to like loss of saturation. So basically like how rich the color actually looks. And one of the biggest things I see is how easily people lose the shape that they're creating due to over blending, but sometimes not even considering the shape that they're working with. And I'm not saying the shape of your eye. It's not knowing what the shape of your eye is. It's like, what's the actual placement that you're putting down? Like what shape are you actually creating? I'm putting a little bit more of, I don't know what color this is. This is the Unfiltered Nudes palette. And I'm just buffing this in. I'm gonna take a bit of this shade, which is called the Mare. Same brush. It's a little bit brighter. And I'm gonna go over top. And like, I don't blame people either for this whole like blending concept because it's really all that's online. And when you follow people who only do their own makeup, and don't actually understand the artistry or the technique or have put in the time to learn the skill, okay? All that's gonna happen is blend. Just blend, blend, blend. Blend until it looks soft, blend. There's just way more. Like as an insider tip, there's just way more that goes into blending, and there's tons of different ways to blend. There's ways to blend without actually blending into it. This is one of my favorite brushes. This is the 221 from MAC. I have a really old 217. We were playing with purple colors on the revival on our calls this weekend. That's why I'm like very inspired to wear purple, like purple. I'm gonna take this color called Worm's Wart, and I'm gonna sweep this within this color too. And another common thing I see too is people just like, again, blending anywhere, blending in, you know, big circles or like huge windshield wiper motions. Every eyeshadow look should be blended with like the direction, like where do you want the color to go? Where do you want the product to sit? Because a lot of like the eye looks that you like and that you see online that are like really well done, it's because there's like a flow to the whole eye shape. This is what we're working with right now. I'm gonna use these two Half Magic eyeshadows. They look blue on camera, but again, they have that like violet tone to them. And I'm gonna mix them both together, just on that same I'm gonna zoom you in. Just on that same 217 brush, and I'm gonna sweep this onto the lid. So secret number 2 is thinking like, you know, adding color anywhere is just for like the expression. It's just the feeling I was going for today, so I can put it anywhere. But if your placement doesn't suit or flatter your eye shape, so if that inner corner, you know, pop is placed incorrectly, it's gonna change the shape of the eye. It could drag down the face. Like there's so many different things that could go wrong. If you're trying to have strategic placement and your brushes are too big, you're gonna go overkill on certain areas that like need to be a specific way. And then that's when the whole look starts to collapse. And generally people think, okay, well, if I just blend it and make it softer, it's gonna get better, but it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna use this color called Sugar Plum Visions and press this on the lid. It's a little sandwich action. So that like expressive color, that bold color, that bright color, that bright color, that color that like suits your mood will look bad or not read correctly when it doesn't suit your eye. Your strategic placement is what's going to help like lift and balance the eye. So like to put into perspective here, someone who has like a smaller eye, let's say, if you kind of like overdid it with all this purple, it might be like way too much and you might like freak out. But you can have the same impact that this does if you apply it more strategically for your eye shape, even if it's like physically less product than what you can see. So like right now, let's say like, I don't know, 50% of my eye is this like purple color, which is like making it the look. But on a small eye, that could be way too overpowering, and that's where that like clown thing comes into play. But on your eye, you might need like 20% of this color showing, and that's gonna give you the same 50% impact that I have. I'm gonna take this color called My Bugs, and I'm gonna just try and soften a little bit of the brown still. And the wrong brush size is your worst enemy. So if you've never considered like what brushes actually work on your eye shape, I highly recommend. After you watch this video, go join my free Skool community and then go look at your brush collection. Ooh, and to think I'm gonna take it up a notch from here, don't you worry. I'm just cleaning up any fallout. It's super important to pair your bright colors too with like black or brown. I'm taking a little bit of the Melt Black Onyx liner and I'm just lining my upper lash line. I'm gonna do the waterline on the inside, and then I'm gonna do my waterline with black as well, and then we'll get into secret number 3. I'm taking the same first 2 colors that I put down. I'm buffing out this lower lash line, and these are those same Half Magic colors, and I like mine like very, very wrapped. I need to bring in a little bit of the purple too, like from up here, but I just did a mixture. I love it. So secret number 3 is that you think every time you want a new color or new product that you need this entirely new like routine and like your brain goes blank. Like the amount of people that I've spoken to who have said like, okay, like they have an eye look that they love and they're like, okay, but now I want it, you know, to be green. And they're like, so I need to learn a whole other eye look. No, you do not, because number one, really ask yourself, how many eye looks do you need on rotation? I personally, I have my coquette eye, which I kind of like rotate out like my smoky gray. I have a go-to graphic eyeliner look, which is my curved liner. I have my wrapped smoky black, and then I would like have an option for like a bold. That's 4 eye looks. So even though I can create whatever eye look I want, I rotate between 4. How that switches, formulas, placement, and things like that, that's how you adjust things to make it work for you, because maybe like a certain formula can't be blended in the same way on a certain area. That's where the issue comes up. But people are jumping ahead to that step without actually realizing that you can just incorporate the color in the same way that you did from an existing eye look. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to start from scratch. And if you know the right techniques for how to hold your brush, what brush size you need, what formulas you're working with, and all of those pairings together, that's when you're actually in the driver's seat of doing your own makeup. So your structure should always be consistent, and your like color is your accent or like embellishment, as I like to say, especially if you're in the beginning stages where something like this would be like way too much. ASMR moment. People constantly want to like reinvent a look or think that they have to reinvent the look instead of just, again, like I mentioned, rotating things. I think, I don't know if I'm right, but I'm thinking, no, that's too pink. I can't tell if I want something darker. Yeah, I think I want it darker. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna add, so this is that same Bone Daddy color. I don't know why it's so satisfying folding this back and holding it. Could not tell you why. And then look, I just flip to use the mirror. This is one of my favorite brushes for smoky eyes or color, is the 242. So I'm just gonna deepen down here. So like you can substitute colors in and out depending on their formulas without actually changing the whole structure of the eye. And now we're really gonna bring it there. This here is Holo 15 from Timaree Cosmetics. And do you see that? That we took it from flakes to like metallic finish. Insane, insane. We're putting this right here. I'm putting down a little bit of Pro Locked Brow Gel and picking up that color and pressing it on the center of the lid. And it's gonna melt into the product underneath. Do you see? They're so good. There's nothing I love more than a textured eye. Oh yeah. I'm gonna pop some in here too. I even want to take it a step further. I have this other color. This is the Color Wash Extreme, so it looks like, I don't know if you can tell. It's gonna have this really cool pink shift to it, and I'm gonna dust it. Yeah, just under the brow there. It's just something like cooler to fade off from. Yeah, cool. Love, love, love. This video and concept has like inspired you guys to be like, okay, I want to play with makeup, but I don't really know where to start, or I have so much product in my collection and like I have no idea how to see it in a way that makes sense to me. Make sure that you guys hit the link in my description and join my free Skool community platform. I have set it up in a way that you guys have the basics of everything that you need to be able to learn how to do your own makeup and be a lot more intentional with it. The other cool thing is you're going to be around a lot of other like-minded individuals who just love makeup and are on the same journey as you. So make sure you hit the link in my description. I let a certain amount of people in every single day, and I promise you that you will never see makeup in the same way again. I'm just going in with MAC Stack Elevated, and I think we're gonna go in with like a full lash to finish this eye. I was gonna do my regular 86 lash, but I think I'm gonna go, oh wait, I didn't love these because it's not the Siren lash. Let me just feel this out for a second. Ugh, it is so good. A stacked Siren and Stunner lash together is next level, where this is just a regular level. It's usually just like a little bit more dense. This is like a little bit too much curl. So did you see how like these 88s are like very long? Like they have a ton of curl to them. So that's what this part is. And because I don't have the density from the Siren Lash in here, it makes the curl seem like nuts. I'm just gonna leave it. You can look at me from back here. The other thing I like about glitters and like metallics is they're very forgiving. So I add a little bit of lash glue and I'm using the black one and you just pop that on and it disappears. Oh, so we need to fix that. Yeah, look at that. And I mean, your colored eye look is half your battle because you still need base products that make sense and obviously a lip combo that makes sense as well. What is this like Lord Farquaad curl that I've created here? I'm just gonna do this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If anything helped you, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, all under the same name, at Miss Megan Robinson. Click the link in my description to join my free Skool community and you can finally take your everyday makeup and make it very intentional. Don't be late for school, and until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.